Hey everyone, Richard here. It is time for my final comic haul of 2020, and it's a pretty big one, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Alright, so like I said, I got my final haul of 2020. It's a lot of books. It's basically stuff I've had stacking up over the last, 3 months, if not longer. Stuff I just haven't had the time to show or what have you. And it's going to be in no real particular order. I know usually with a comic haul, you kind of share your best stuff for last. But it's going to be just dispersed all throughout this, basically in the order I got it, more or less. So with that, let's just go ahead and get into it. These first two books were dollar books I found. Not necessarily super valuable, but still kind of, you don't see them very much in the wild. This is the Guild number 1 and Guild number 2. This is a sort of like a supplement story for a series, a web series called The Guild, done by Felicia Day back in the late 2000s. I want to say 2007, 2008. Basically follows a group of people who played a game similar to World of Warcraft online all the time, and sort of a spur of the moment, they decided that they wanted to be in real life, and it just kind of goes crazy from there. So it's actually a really fun series, the web series and the comics. I highly recommend them if you ever have the opportunity to watch or read them. So that's those. And when I picked those up, I also got two Star Wars books. The first one right here, Star Wars Darth Vader. I paid $2 for this. This is the cameo of a Jedi whose name I cannot say or remember right now. But he's the Jedi that basically just kicks Vader's butt for a while. Survived Order 66, all that good stuff. Great cover, and it's actually a really, really good story. And then I also got Darth Vader 22 for $2. It's the first appearance of like this thing, which is sort of a Sith Lord from ages past. That it's a convoluted story. It's the first appearance I don't really think matters in my opinion, but it's a first appearance. So there's that. There'll be lots of cuts in this haul, by the way, because I gotta go pick up stuff because it's all strewn across my room. So yeah. Next, I'm going to go ahead and show a few books that Tim, the Canadian Comic Hunter, sent me. They were in AOK. I already shared this on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram and you're not following me on Instagram, I highly recommend it. I'm way more active on there. But he sent me this one, Dark Horse Comics number 7. Pretty good story. He said this, little ash can size Pokemon story. And then the big thing he sent me was Star Wars Crimson Empire 3, Empire Lost. This is the number 1 variant. Pretty difficult variant to get a hold of, so I was really happy to get this. Thanks again, Tim. And yeah. Alright, next we're going to do some more Star Wars. Some of the stuff I haven't even bagged and board yet. It's just how I found it. Got this stuff, I believe, at Goodwill. I paid $1 each for it. But anyway, Star Wars number 1, or not number 1, number 7, excuse me. First appearance of Aura Singh and Sharadhet, which is a Jedi who leaves the Order, goes and lives with Tusken Raiders, and it's a long story, really great character. But yeah. Star Wars number 8, that same run, continuation of that Outlander story. Number 9. Number 10, this is the first appearance of a Sharadhet, which is the son of Sharadhet, and later becomes Darth Krayt. I know there's a little bit of controversy with some of these first appearances, because some argue that he actually shows up earlier hooded. I don't like to mess with that. I'm just going to call this the first appearance for all intents and purposes. Yeah. Star Wars number 11, same Outlander series. And number 12 from that Outlander series. I also grabbed Star Wars Boba Fett Enemy of the Empire number 1. It is a newsstand copy, but it's just a really great cover. And number 4, which is again another newsstand copy. The last book I got when I got these, again, I got it for $1. Star Wars Republic number 52. This is the first cover appearance of Asajj Ventress, and again, it is a newsstand copy. And this one's actually a decently shape, just in decent shape, so basically just needs a press. Yeah, I've pretty much found all of Asajj's key issues this year in $1 to $2 piles, essentially, so it's been a good year for Asajj. Alright, so this next little stack is essentially just modern stuff I picked up. This is Skull Masquerade number 1. This was a Kickstarter type book, and it's actually really interesting. It's done by someone named Carla Carnations, I believe is what it is. Or that's her Etsy thing anyway. But just a really interesting read. It's very sort of mystery. I'm looking forward to future issues. She signed it on the inside cover, but I just really liked this cover. I thought it was too great to pass up. So, yeah. Next up, we got Black Widow number 1, Hughes variant. This was, I believe, a convention version of it. With the way this year went, it's hard to say at this point. I think it's the convention version that was supposed to be released at conventions but never was, or something to that extent. But either way, nice Hughes Black Widow. Next book is Wonder Woman 763, Joshua Middleton variant. Possibly my favorite cover of the year. I just love the colors, and it's Middleton, so yeah. And then the only, I guess, store variant I picked up this year, it just kind of spoke to me. I really liked the cover, so I figured, why not? I'll splurge and get it. Amazing Spider-Man number 48 with Gwen on the cover. Yeah, I just really thought it was a unique pose, and I liked it, so I got it. Alright, so this next stack of books is not your typical stack of comics I think you see in hauls. But I paid $1 each for them at a little shop, and they're all relatively hard to find, and they're all in relatively good shape. So first, it's all Sailor Moon stuff. This sort of anime, TV related characters are really picking up lately for whatever reason. So I figured I'd grab these. So first, we got 1 through 4 here. These are all the second prints. All have print runs less than about 9,000. So relatively hard to get, and well, not hard to get, hard to find, especially in decent shape. These were made to read, essentially, so very cool with those. And one thing about basically all these issues is they're all less than 15,000 print run. They weren't printed heavily at all. So here's 23, 24, 25, 26, then it jumps to 31, 32, 33, 34, and this is the final issue, 35. I highly suggest looking into these books because people would tend to leave them behind, and they actually go for a decent amount of money. They're hard to find, and they're just kind of a fun pickup if you see them in a dollar bin. Yeah, just keep your eyes open. Not the easiest book to find, and there are definitely collectors out there who want them. So probably well over a year ago now, I mentioned a site called Ebid, which was sort of a Canadian, international-focused eBay knockoff. I actually found a Green Lantern 55 variant with logo on it there for, I want to say, like $3 shipped. I basically put it out as a place to look for deals because for whatever reason you can find them there. And this stack of books was from one seller on there. yeah, first one, Star Wars number 12. This is the gold dynamic forces variant. I got this whole stack for 20 bucks. So there's that. Spider-Woman number 1, another dynamic forces. Oh, and these do have the certificates with them. Ghost Rider number 1, the Silver Age. Again, I got this whole stack for 20 bucks. Relatively tough book to find. This is not in the best of shape, but for the price, it's a total win. And the last one, Flash 114, which is actually a pretty early Flash appearance when you think about when the numbering actually started. It actually has a UK stamp because this came from the UK. And again, I paid $20 for it. I don't know how they could afford to ship it at that, but whatever. Not my problem, I guess. And it's actually in really, really nice shape. So I want to say it's the second appearance of mine's Captain Cold, I think. It's late, but don't quote me on that. I mainly got it because the condition was really nice. It was cheap, and I like these sort of stamps. So, yeah. All right, we're winding down now. I don't have a whole lot more to show. Yeah. So these also came from Ebid. They were from a different seller though, but still in the UK, and they are magazines. First up, Haunt of Horror number 12. Just a great Lilith cover. I don't know how many of you have ever actually looked inside these magazines, but they have amazing art in them. Magazine issues from this time weren't limited by the comic code, so they could get away with a lot more in just about every sense of the word. And like I said, just really great art in them. So if you've never cracked open one of these, I highly recommend it. The art, in my opinion, is just of better quality than a lot of comics of the same time. I think that's just because, one, they had more space, and two, they weren't limited by the comic code. So, there's that. Next up, Vampire Tales number 6. Another Lilith cover. This is a very early Lilith appearance. I want to say it's either her second or third appearance. Not positive. It's been a while since I looked at this book, because this is one of the books that I got probably 4 months ago. But again, magazine format, really nice, and from the UK. And I got the last book for $3. This was also a $3 book. This next book was $6. Savage Sword of Conan the Barbarian, number 1. This is the third overall appearance of Red Sonja, and it's by default the first time you see her bikini version, because in her first 2 appearances she's wearing more of a full chainmail type outfit, if you will. So really cool. Happy to get this for that price. And then also, this one was again $3. Savage Sword of Conan the Barbarian number 235, the final issue. This was a hot book on YouTube a few years ago. It's definitely scarce, and it's just a cool to find one, especially at that price. So, yeah. All right, so the last comic is kind of a funny story. I picked up a different job recently, working nights, and one of the people there came up to me. He's an older Mexican man, and he found out that I collect comics, and he said, "Oh, I have a comic. I'll give it to you for 20 bucks if you want it." And I was, you know how it is. You're like, "Oh, let me see what it is." He went and got it, and he brought it to me. It's not what I expected at all. I was happy to pay $20 for it, but it is one of the non-canon Amazing Spider-Man issues where Gwen Stacy did not die. This is number 159. Very, very interesting book to flip through. Lots of angles and depictions of women specifically in here that I don't think would have ever flown with Marvel at the same period. Plus, it's just a really cool cover. Just a totally different style of artwork and storytelling. And these are relatively hard to find. They're fetching quite a bit of money in the aftermarket. For a while, I was the only one who was actually looking for them, and then someone broke the news about them, and now everyone wants them. But yeah, very happy to get that, and at that price, this is definitely a steal. So I think that's it. Actually, one second, I'm going to show one more thing because why not? All right, so recently there has been sort of an ongoing conversation about this particular hardcover. This is volume 1 of these hardcovers. It's a library edition, and it basically reprints just issue 1 of Clone Wars. So it's a reprint of the first appearance of Ahsoka. Some people were reporting it as hard to find. It was selling for upwards of $200 at one point, and it simply isn't. You can order this very easily from Mid-America Books for $17.95 plus shipping. These are made for schools, for libraries, educational purposes. They're built durable, and they're print to order. People were kind of acting like, well, maybe there's a print run to it, different printings to it. There's not. It's one consistent print run, and it's printed to order. There's no differentiation between print runs, and that's really all there is to it. It's a very cool, affordable option to read this book if you have not read it before. But as far as value or that sort of thing, it's readily available, print to order, $17.95 plus shipping. If you're an Ahsoka fan, it's awesome because it's a durable book. You can flip through this, read the issue, no problem. And they actually do this for, I believe, the whole run. I know it's at least the first 6, but it might be the whole run. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. I figured I'd share it here. I already talked about it on my Instagram, probably a little more eloquently than I am right now. But yeah, not rare, not hard to find, very affordable, and it's made for schools essentially. So flipping it for money is kind of But yeah, that's my haul. I don't expect to have any more hauls this year. I think this is my last one. I'll probably have a few other videos pop up, but this will be my last haul. I hope you all had as good of a year as you could have. I hope it's good going into the new year. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. And yeah, that's it. Take care, everyone.